Welcome everyone to another episode of the Definitive Crusade. I'm your host, joining the machine, Hughes, and joining me from across the pond, as always, is the lovely Freyja.
Hi guys! Woo.
And there you go, checking out some new outfits, and of course, it wouldn't be the same without Dr. Pepper Podcast himself, the random dude, Josh.
What is up?
What is up? It is the opposite.
This Dr. Pepper needs to be stronger for some of the books. Oh,
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
no, I'm pre-gaming it.
People will be like click click click. Oh, no. So we're going to take a leaf. We're going to take a leaf out of No Prize Podcast this time around.
I got a migraine.
Normally, those guys are all about the MCU and the Disney Plus, and sooner or later they get around to some comic books. And I think for a while, guys, I think we've been kind of, I'm not saying relegated, but we've kind of been, in comic book land, and we forget that there are all these other things going on. And of course, over this last week or so, we've had the announcement, the biggie, that James Gunn has dropped the first slate of his DC Phase 1. Can we say Phase 1? Is that copyrighted?
He called it Chapter 1.
Oh, Chapter 1. There we go. Chapter 1. So let's go through this. So there are a few things that are surprising and some things that I am, well, one thing I'm very happy about, but we all know what that is. So let's start at the top. We've got a 7-episode animated series of the Creature Commandos, written by Gunn himself. There you go. We have Waller, which is a spin-off of Gunn's own HBO Max series Peacemaker. The big talking point probably is Superman Legacy, which decides that we are going to regress to Superman's early days, looking at his Kryptonian heritage. I think I've seen this movie already. I think it's called Smallville. Just
exactly. Yeah.
I think I even read that book where on the cover he's just sitting there on the hill, just hunched over.
Yeah, very good. Lanterns, which is a Greg Berlanti Green Lanterns TV show series, has been scrapped. Gunn has come back with a whole different thing. It's going to be a buddy cop show with Hal and Jon Stewart. Hopefully we'll get to see a whole range of different lanterns in there. We've got The Authority, which is based on a team of superheroes from the 90s, if you can remember all that way back. Paradise Lost, which is a Game of Thrones style drama set on an all-female island. I wonder which one that is.
I don't know.
Yeah. The mascara, or the mascara, as my wife calls it when she tries to put her makeup on. I'm going to get so much grief for that. The Brave and the Bold, which is an introduction to the DCU of Batman, not the R-Pat Bat, but this is a different Bat. And of course, it's going to have the big news, Damian Wayne, for all you.
Woo! Yeah, I'm excited. I love Damian.
I was pretty excited to hear that one too.
And then on top of that, to confuse all you non-comic book loving fans out there, you've got the Batman sequel.
Dun, dun, dun.
You also got a couple of things like Booster Gold.
Yep.
God knows why.
They can actually do quite a bit with that, though. So
yeah, we'll see. Swamp Thing gets another bite of the cherry. What's this? This is like the third movie and a TV show. Crazy.
I heard that they. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm confusing things. Just ignore me. I'm going to track back on that thought so I don't get in trouble.
Oh, you'll get into trouble, don't you worry. All right, and then my favorite one, of course, is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is going to take its cues from the Tom King miniseries of last year, which I voted in the TDC Book of the Year as the Book of the Year. So, yeah, there you go.
And my main issue with that was the art. Is just kind of stopped me from it. But like I said, it also was wordy. But like I said, some things, it's a great story. Mm-hmm. It may not fit into the comic book because you're very limited with comic books. But it might do very well as a movie or a book, or not book, like a novel. But it'll TV series or movie is probably the better format for it. If you have like this broad, intricate, deep story, maybe skip out on the comic and just try to pitch it for. Well, I mean,
Skip out another comic book. Are you crazy?
some of
Oh my
them,
god!
unless you get enough books, the
Yeah.
story is too much. Like because some of them they only get like 12 issues, and some of them need like 24 to really flesh out their story. To be perfectly honest, because if someone opens a book and they're just greeted with a big old wall of text, they're it's kind of intimidating for a comic book.
Don't give Tom King more issues. One of the beauties of the Supergirl's book was it was 8 issues and that's it. You have to be done by 8. No more, no less.
But like I said, it's very limiting though, story wise, unless
suppose.
you shove all the text in, and that might
Exactly what happened.
deter people. But like I said, it was a great story. The art kind of bothered me, and there was a lot of walls of text. But
Cool.
I'm glad it's going to get a movie. I'll probably very greatly enjoy this movie. So we'll see how it goes. Also, they need to do something about her suit because I hated her suit in the comic.
That's cool.
Go back to the skirt. It's cute. I want her to be cute because I like cute girls.
I like cute girls too.
Here, here.
You all like cute girls. There we go. Woohoo! All right. So Supergirl is going to be a bit of a contentious one. We'll go around. Josh, of the slate that's been announced, which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm excited for Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, that one.
I'm excited to see what they do with Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how they cast it.
Yeah.
Who they cast as Damian.
Yeah.
I am also curious because Batman's going to be older. How is that going to work with Superman Legacy?
They're not connected.
Well, no. The way that James is saying is this is supposed to be part of the DCU, so the one coherent story where the Batman and Joker 2 is part of DC Elseworlds, which I like that distinction between the two.
Yeah.
Well, that works for us, but what about Joe Public?
Oh, who cares?
Again,
the general public doesn't care if it's connected. Let's be real. They don't really care. If it's a good movie, they're going to like it.
They will complain because it's not part of Marvel.
Who cares? It's not Marvel. It's DC.
Well, I know, but it goes back to that. What's better, migraine or DC? And
why not both?
Well,
who cares?
Yeah, but the bandwagon fans,
you just ignore them.
Well, I do, and then I laugh at them and say, "Have you even read a book?"
Yeah.
I think the problem you've got with Batman is that he is such a cross-media character. I think you're going to have comic book fans will go to see it, and some will go with an open mind, like when we saw the Batman with Robert Pattinson. Same as where we saw, the Ben Affleck one. We're kind of like, yeah, we'll see what it's like, and we'll go with it and see what we enjoy. I find it ironic that everybody loves Affleck. But when he was first cast, everybody hated him.
Well,
so
then
again,
I'm not everybody. I love the old '90s movies, so I'm like, you know what? If I can enjoy Batman and Robin, I can pretty much enjoy it.
I love Batman and Robin. I'm with you on this one, Freyja. You guys know me. You know I love Batman and Robin. I think it's better than The Dark Knight Rises, but still, that's my hill. So.
Dark Knight Rises, way to set the bar of expectation.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
But the other key factor is the fact that James Gunn said that the Flash movie will reset everything. So I am curious to see just how that will end to lead into this new phase of the DCU.
Yeah, because this is going to be the Snyderverse reset, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ending the Snyderverse and moving on to the Gunn-verse.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so Freyja, any ones that you kind of spring to mind? Batman, Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold. I agree. I'm very excited for that. But then again, I love Batman so much. But and I love Damian. He's my second favorite Robin. besides Dick Grayson, because that,
behind
you know.
Stephanie. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Maybe she'll be in it. That would be great. You know,
Yeah.
Because James did say that he is going to be working in the Bat family.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see more of the Bat family, like extended, broadened, I guess, whatever. But the one I'm kind of looking forward to that might be very interesting is Booster Gold. Not Booster Gold. Why is that on my brain? Blue Beetle.
Right. Okay. So
and that one they said is not going to be part of the DC universe. It's going to be its own separate thing. It's not going to be connected to anyone. And so I'm excited. I've seen the suit. For what I looked at, it looks pretty good. They can touch it up with, you know, CG and whatnot. Just don't ruin it. And they've been working on it for a while.
Well, I just want to put out there, you know, Blue Beetle. We've already seen Blue Beetle in the movies already, so I'm just saying that we have. Because I mean, Cyborg in Justice League is Blue Beetle, right? We all know that Cyborg, the armor reacting to Kryptonian, really, that's Blue Beetle. Sonic Blaster, really? Yeah, I think Snyder got his wires crossed a little bit. Blue Beetle's one of the movies that have come out this year, along with Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which allegedly, according to Twitterverse and others, has a Wonder Woman cameo in it.
I need to sit down and watch those. I've been kind of ignoring the Shazam. I love Zachary Levi, but I'm like, I don't know. There's something about the Shazam movie. I'm like, I don't. Maybe it's just seeing the grown man. Something about seeing a grown man act like a 15-year-old is kind of like, but I've heard they were good, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch them. You know, I watched Black Adam. I can watch Shazam.
So this is another point. So, Josh, you mentioned the Flash is coming out. Absolutely right. Freyja, Blue Beetle. You've got Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom later in Christmas time.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem for a lot of these films. I've got two problems. One, apart from Supergirl and apart from Batman, unless you're a comic book fan and Superman, unless you're a comic book fan, you don't know who these are.
Well,
and this is part of the problem for me. I love the Black Adam movie. I thought the kid was a bit cheesy and I could do without him preaching to everybody. But from a comic book fan point of view, I was all for it. But then again, I know who Dr. Fate is. I know who Cyclone is. I know who these characters are. Having a slate of movies with B, C-list characters does not fill me with a lot of success. And the second point I've just made before Frey jumps in again is that I don't like James Gunn. I didn't like Guardians 2 at all. Guardians 1 is fun, but Guardians 2 is a big pile of poo. It is shit. And it just doesn't work. So which gun are we going to get? Are we going to get Guardians 1 gun, which is like really funny, or are we going to get Guardians 2 gun, where the joke is now less funny, but you're still going to keep beating us over the head with it?
Yeah. Well,
Freyja, you were going to say something.
I'm hoping it's James Gunn version 1. I mean, the Christmas special for Guardians was good. I liked it. My family liked it. And the thing with like the characters that nobody likes or knows. Sorry, not likes. I love those characters. Like Dr. Fate for me in the Black Adam movie was like the highlight. I loved that casting. He was great. I thought he was perfect. I liked the suit. I loved everything about him. And I liked how he was so chill about everything, all the chaos going on. I loved him. So
very James Bondish.
Yeah, and I would love a Dr. Fate movie with him, but you know, he's getting older, but he still would be able to do it because you know he doesn't have to be in the suit. He could just be, you know, him. But and another thing is who really knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before the movies? Let's be real. They weren't exactly A-listers at Marvel at the time.
Well, fair point. Fair point.
So you know they can become very popular via the movie because you know it doesn't hurt to try. You know, because now Guardians are freaking everywhere. Everyone loves the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's just so I hope they do well. If the movie's done well, then the characters will be more popular, and then we'll get more stuff with them in it. And that's what I want. I want like new characters, but you have to you put in the work to get them popular. And because I'm sick of seeing origin stories, so I'm glad that Batman is not going to be another origin story.
Yeah.
I don't want Robert Pattinson as Batman. Sorry, I like that movie, but I didn't like him as Bruce Wayne at all.
So he
was the slimy emo kid who needs to wash his hair and do something with it, because this is not the millionaire playboy that is Bruce Wayne. He's like the emo kid in class that's, singing My Chemical Romance or whatever, in the back of the class, and that's not Bruce Wayne. And so he was good as Batman. I'll give him that. The bat suit was great, everything. But him as Bruce Wayne, not believable. Also, I do not want Selena Kyle back in this movie. I want a different female, love interest like they used to do in all the old Batman movies. Because he has
It's got to be Talia.
Talia. I would love Talia. I would love Zatanna showing up for one freaking movie for once. They don't even have to be a love interest. It could just be that, friends thing that they have going on. And that's all I want.
Okay.
I'm sick of Catwoman.
Much. All right, Josh. One of my slights against the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, as fun as they are as popcorn movies. You eat your popcorn, take your Coke, whatever you want to do as you're watching the damn thing. That's drink Coke, not take Coke. The plug and play. You can just take out one character, put the other, and nothing changes.
They're all written exactly the same.
Exactly. That's why Star-Lord's funny. That's why Iron Man's funny. That's why Spider-Man's funny. That's why Ant-Man's funny, because they're all the same. Do we run the risk of having someone who is very much a one-play kind of guy take on all these separate sort of projects? Because for me, I like the DC universe, cinematic universe, as it is now, where you can go and watch something serious like the Batman, or you can watch something popcorn like Suicide Squad, if that's your thing. Yeah. I like the fact that it's all over the place. It's not connected. Josh, do we run the risk of having one guy in charge just giving us the same tone of movie?
I think we are running that risk. Because it was our understanding when it was announced that James Gunn was coming into this position that he was going to be facilitating, delegating, not freaking writing.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna have that, might as well just have kept Zack Snyder and continued that. Have the Flash reset the timeline and cast new people. By then, we'd still have Henry Cavill as Superman.
Heck yeah.
That's probably the one thing is we won't get more of him.
So sad.
Well, let's not put the cart before the horse on this one, because whilst I agree we're not going to get him in this movie, they haven't come out and actually said that he's been recast. It's just that this movie doesn't feature
the way that it, from everything that I had read, because I had done some research on this one, is that the higher ups, quote unquote, dicked over Henry Cavill. He didn't get hired for it. Again, the previous powers that be with DC really kind of mucked that one up. Do I think that James Gunn will go with Henry? I don't think so. I think he really wants a fresh reset. If that is the case, I either want Jensen Ackles as Batman,
heck yeah,
or John Hamm.
I want Jensen Ackles. I love him.
I want Jensen.
I love him so much. Sorry, my vibes from Supernatural is coming out.
But he's true to the comics. I mean, he's also done the voice of Batman.
Yeah,
he's done the voice of Batman already.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But unfortunately, we're going to get to that in a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what? He did an amazing job as Red Hood.
Yeah.
Well, anyone can stand and whinge and get the shit kicked out of him. It's fine.
No. That monologue that Jensen did as Red Hood with the Joker right there, top down, one of the best monologues.
Yeah. So if he's not Batman, he should be Red Hood. Yeah.
Red Hood.
But
I would prefer not to have Red Hood, but if anyone was to be him, I'd have him.
I see, because of his star power, if you will, within Hollywood, if he were to be cast as Batman, we would have a flood of new.
Yeah, all those
Batman
freaking
fans.
Supernatural fans. Have you they're insane.
That is a huge cult.
That's like saying if we had David Boreanaz play Batman, all the Angel fans would come and see it. Yeah,
No, Angel was back in the 90s. Supernatural went on for 15 years.
Supernatural feels like it came from the 90s. It's been on that long.
It's been going for like 15 years, but that's the thing. It's been going for 15 years and it's super popular. And the only reason they stopped was because the actors were like, yeah, we're kind of done with this. Maybe we should do other things.
And of course, you forget that Jensen Ackles was also in Smallville.
Yeah, Jensen.
He was the football coach.
And have you seen him as Soldier Boy in The Boys?
Oh, he was so good. He was so good.
So
I'm so
freaking
sad.
good.
I'm so sad that he's not going to, but he was so great. He was great. I loved him as that.
So we're going to start the campaign for two things. Jensen as Batman and bring back the fishnets with Zatanna.
Yes, fishnets around.
That's the condition.
If
you get fishnets, we get Jensen Ackles as Batman.
I can live without fishnets. Canary wears them. All right. Okay.
Ass.
What can I say?
Oh, also, if they reset the timeline, they have to redo Flash. I don't want Ezra. Sorry. He has the worst casting. They are the worst casting. Sorry, Ezra's non-binary.
Yeah.
And whatever, non-binary, I think. So they are the worst casting I have seen in a while for a superhero. They should not be Flash. They're a terrible Flash. They're a terrible Barry. I don't like the writing for the character either. So please do someone else for the Flash. Because if we're not having Henry and we're resetting everyone else, and we're not getting our Wonder Woman, and then we're not getting our Jason Momoa Aquaman, and everyone else is going to reset, but we still have Ezra Miller. That's a bunch of bullshit. Because everyone else is being recast.
I don't understand why they just didn't go with Grant Gustin and be done with it. But
because they have this. Okay, so that brings up a point then. If we're going to bring Grant Gustin in as the Flash, why don't we bring in Superman from
Tyler Hoechlin?
Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's not.
That suit's awful. That suit is awful.
Change the suit. We're not saying keep the suit. We're just saying bring the person.
Bring Tyler in.
No.
He's great.
Tom Welling. That's where you go.
Okay.
That's where you go.
But here's the problem. If you go back to that episode within the Arrowverse when Lex is traveling and killing all the Supermen, Tom Welling gave up his powers. He's human now.
I thought we were assuming here that the Flash movie's resetting everything.
Yeah, I say we shouldn't choose any of the. I love the TV series versions of a lot of these characters, but at the same time, with how some of the characters have gone later in their seasons, I say don't cast them. I don't want that universe in the movies. We should have the movies a separate universe as the TV series.
If they make cameos, kind of like.
I can't see. I can't see anybody else being Oliver Queen but Stephen Amell. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. No.
I can.
My wife and I were going through a Smallville phase, and every time the Smallville arrow comes on, we look at each other and goes, "Which one's better? Is it this guy or is it?"
But here's the thing: you say that until they get an actor, and then you go, "Ooh, I like this person as this character." So I'm always fine with recasting as someone completely different. That's how we got Henry Cavill. That's how we got like every freaking Batman.
Fair enough. All right. So
I think the rumor though was David Corn. Is it Corn Sweat? Was the
Corn Sweat?
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce his name. I'm butchering names.
I think it's Corn Sweat.
And I thought I was bad at names. Oh my god.
I don't know, but that's the one that I was seeing on Twitter that everyone was saying should be cast as Superman.
David Corn, what's his name?
Corn
All right, okay.
Here,
Corn Sweat.
Shall we move on whilst... Oh, here we go.
So there is one that I was also excited for, and I just can't remember where he is. Oh yeah, Blue Beetle. The actor who's playing Blue Beetle, I'm so excited. He was so good.
Zolo or whatever his name is.
Sholo Amari
Amiobi?
Duena. I can't.
Yeah.
He was great in Cobra Kai. He's great. So I'm excited. Great actor.
Let's wind it in, and we'll
All right,
talk
sorry.
about. No, that's fine. It's talk about this beauty.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our first DC animated movie of the
This
year.
year. Yeah.
This is Legion of Superheroes featuring Supergirl. Check it out. She's got a skirt on.
Yay!
Woo! And those thigh highs. I love the thigh highs.
Right. Okay, so this is a continuation of that ongoing, the new DC animation style that you might have seen in the Justice Society cartoon and the Long Halloween parts 1 and 2. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the animation style itself, but I'll tell you this: the girls are drawn very, very well in this cartoon. You can see why Supergirl's going to grow up to be Power Girl. That's all I'm saying. It's a fun little movie. I watched it this morning. I thought it was great. It's the gist. You know what's going to happen to a couple of the characters. I liked the dialogue. I thought it worked. Supergirl is a brat, and then finding out she goes to the future, and then lo and behold, is still a brat in the future. I thought it was great fun. Absolutely. I didn't have a problem with this movie at all, other than the animation style doesn't always work for me. But as I said, the characters look great. It's just how they move that's the issue. Did like breaking into the vault. Who'd have thought there'd be a 2-step verification process in the future? Google, you've got a lot to answer for.
Right.
Josh, I know you're writing a review for this movie for the sister site over at Comic Crusaders. Go check out Comic Crusaders. Not now, do it at the end of the show. Josh, what do you think of this movie?
I loved it. Starting off, my issue was, great, we're getting another Kara Zor-El origin. Whoa. But the thing that I enjoyed was seeing her struggle, especially while on Earth, talking to the map at the mall was hilarious. And just seeing the progression of her character throughout the story was great. The story between her and Brainiac 5, thought it was fantastic. Jensen Ackles makes a cameo as Batman in this and was fantastic.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I am with Freyja. It was great to see Supergirl with the skirt and the thigh highs.
Heck yeah.
That is how Supergirl is supposed to be.
Fair enough.
Badass, cute and adorable, and sassy.
Fair enough. I'll go with that. Freyja, what was your take on this?
I liked it.
You sometimes love Supergirl, sometimes don't like Supergirl.
No, I liked it. I agree. I like seeing her struggle through, and progress through the story. She's not perfect, and she stays who she is, but she does progress, which is what every story should be. It shouldn't just be, hey, this magical perfect person who can do everything because she's a Mary frickin' Sue. Yay! There needs to be some sort of progression for the character. Through some sort of hardship. It was nice to see. It was nice to see Clark kind of doing the kind of older brother type thing. I feel like her father type. Yeah, well, I know they're cousins, but he kind of took on the role of because he's older than her now. Taking care of her and helping her kind of adjust. And it was nice to see. The progression with Brainiac was also nice because she full on attacks Brainiac. But it was nice to see the progression through the characters, and it was a good story. It did give off the teenager vibes a little bit because I do believe it's geared more for teens. But DC always kind of hits it out of the park with their animated movies. So I liked it. The art style, I liked it. I do agree with Johnny though. Sometimes it was a little off, I guess. But then again, I also like the art style. The mixture of 2D and 3D is always, it's just kind of it takes some getting used to. But then again, I liked Battle of the Super Sons, so
I'm halfway through that. But that's a different style again. I like I think there's something in this movie for everybody. You've got superhero stuff, you've got the will they, won't they, you've got the plot, which even though we've been around the block, if I may say so in a nice way, we kind of know who's who and what's what, but it's still surprisingly done very well. Get a horror element thrown in there for good measure, to give you kind of like some sort of pause. And of course, at the end, you get an end credit scene, which leads on to the next one.
I was going to say that was a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So that's interesting to see how that's going to play out down the line.
Yeah, which if that's the case, that means we're going to get more of this, which means more Supergirl. Yay!
All right, before we get into actual comic books, time for a break for one of our ads. You know what? I don't think there's a Supergirl in this one. Have a look closely. You might see her. It's Crisis in the Toyverse. Some Supergirl in there, definitely. All right, back to the books. We're going to start off with Josh's choice, kind of first. Can't say that really fast. Punchline, the Gotham game, number 4 of 6. Written by Teenie Howard and Blake Howard, art by Max Rayner, colors by Louis Guerrera, and letters by Becca Carey. Joshua.
Yeah.
Why on earth did you pick this book?
Because it's Punchline.
Oh,
because we love Punchline.
Well, we did.
Okay, so this one, coming into this, I had not read the previous issues, so I'm kind of coming into this.
Dull.
I know.
It's worse than Matthew when he says, "Yeah, I kind of read it."
But I read this one.
Hey!
Now, this is one that obviously we're getting towards the end of this mini series, and really the biggest thing is Punchline is still just trying to make a name for herself. I do find it interesting she's brought the Royal Flush Gang back, making her own, but honestly, it was a good, relaxing palate cleanser of a read.
Really?
I thought so.
Okay.
Now, I did get a kick out of Dick Grayson just, well, this one time I got trapped in a never mind, that's a long story. Like, getting Nightwing's humor in this was great. Although I do find that this cameo is kind of, the cameo itself was kind of meh.
Yeah. Okay.
Black Mask. I mean, it's Black Mask. What can you say? Black Mask is a one-trick pony.
I think they're trying to change him up on this one because we all know Catwoman has shanghaied his mask. Hence, you get the two-tone carapace that you see on the page there.
Yeah.
I think this book tries hard to get you to read Catwoman, if I'm honest. There must be, if there's one reference, there's about 4. So
yeah, the one thing that really stood out, that one character that we haven't seen a lot of lately that I would like to see make a return is the ventriloquist.
Yes.
I would like to see a dedicated ventriloquist in Batman story.
Maybe we should have a One Bad Day, the ventriloquist.
That would actually be quite entertaining.
That would be better than the bloody Bane book that we looked at last time.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's 2 gangs fighting. But I enjoyed seeing Punchline trying to stand up to the established crime bosses of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what this ends up just being. And you see the level of experience between Black Mask really coming through, especially when he has his team wipe out most Punchlines.
Yeah. You forget how badass Black Mask can actually be, can't you? That's a fair shout, actually. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
So,
cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was Punchline. Some of the art was a little wonky, but
I have made a couple of notes. I hope Freyja picks up on it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Will she or won't she pick it up? Let's find out. Freyja, do you agree with Josh? Was this a palate cleanser of a book?
I mean, it was a nice change of pace for one thing. Because it's always nice to be on the villain's perspective of things instead of just the heroes. I don't. It was nice seeing Black Mask and Ventriloquist and all of them get together. I like Black Mask's new mask. I mean, to a degree, I like it. Or it looks like he got a garbage bag stuck on his head and they put a mask on top. But I do like him taking on and like destroying her gang without her realizing it. But then again, I have a feeling that she's going to be like, haha, hi, Uno reverse. I knew you were going to do that. Ha ha ha. It's going to be something like that. It's nice seeing Bluebird. That's her name.
Yeah.
And I hate her hair.
Bluebird?
Yeah.
I despise her hair so much.
What hair she has.
What hair she has. I despise that. I always hated that style, though. It screams 1980s English punk rocker. You know?
Hey!
Yeah, I'm bringing you up.
Oh, right. You'll be like that.
She just needs spikes on her leather jacket.
I think I saw that with Superboy back in the 90s.
I know, she needs the Superboy's jacket, and then she'd fit right in with the English punk rockers. I do
sorry we couldn't keep the Green Day aesthetic going. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah.
But I do like the story. Artwork, I don't know what it is about Punchline's outfit, but they can't seem to get her proportions proper in some of the frames. Like sometimes it looks like she has this itty bitty waist and her rib cage is like bam all of a sudden.
Itty bitty waist and a rib in your face.
Yeah, and it's just
that was a bad one.
Yeah, it was.
I'm done.
It was bad. I'm ashamed. And then Jack, for some reason, it looks like his arms like stretchy. I think it's just because they made it a little too big when he's like reaching out when they're all leaving. He's like, wait.
I saw that.
And I was like, your arm is, I don't know. It just seems stretched and a little too big.
It is.
Yeah, it's just, I was like, that's a little weird because I thought they had like a stretchy guy on the team.
Yeah, that's exactly what my note is. What is Reed Richards doing in this book?
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Fantastic. I do like how Dick's just kind of chilling on the pole, and then for whatever reason, he's like, I'm going to do backflip now. I'm like, what is with that? However, there is one thing that it just took me out of the book completely. And I'm like, are you freaking... It's when she calls Black Mask and his gang boomers. I'm like, how... That is exactly how you... And it's also the panel where I'm like, what is going wrong with her waist in that, because she has no waist. She looks like broken doll. But she's like,
What?
you boomers. What panel is it? It's page like she's talking to Black Mask at the time. It's like page 15 or 16 or something. She's starting to charge at them. She's trying to. There it is. And she's like, problem with you boomers. I'm like, how that's 101 how to date yourself in your comic, because no one freaking uses that term anymore, guys. You're a couple of years late. No one says that except for like maybe 8-year-olds.
Right.
No, nobody says that anymore. Why is it? Stop using internet speak in your freaking comics. It makes it stupid and it just dates it horribly. Just don't do it. And the only people I hear it from is my freaking like nephews and niece. We're all young kids, and they say it as a joke because they even think the term's stupid. So
Yeah.
LOL.
Lucas
LOL.
called me a boomer. Lucas called me a boomer one time, and I was like, "Really, bro? Really?"
Yeah. So it's just it's dated. I do one thing that did make me laugh though, and I hate the symbol swearing. I will just point that out again. Stop with the symbol swearing. Just stop. I do like when Black Mask is talking to her and he's like, where's the scene? He's talking about Joker. He's like, well, at least Joker has great taste in ass. No, he found it. It's like, damn, but true. And he's like, hey, you want to go with me? I was like, damn, that's that whole interaction right there. When they all have their whiskey with them, like they're not taking this serious at all. That's page like 23. I thought that was hilarious and I loved it. It's like, damn. That's how the interactions, I think it's the previous one. Yeah, he's like, one thing's for sure though. Joker sure got a good piece of ass when he knew a good piece of ass when he saw one. It's like, damn. I love that. That was one of my favorite lines in the book.
Cool.
I was like, I love you, Black Mask. But the book itself was fine. It was not palette cleansing, but it was nice. It was a nice change. And it's nice that it's focusing on Bluebird. I don't know why Nightwing's in here.
Because Bluebird didn't he train Bluebird? Because they look very similar.
Well, it doesn't, but why is he here? Well, I mean, she called him, so I guess.
Yeah.
But I would like to see Bluebird, do something on her own.
Cool. Right. So you've kind of hit the nail on the head. I think there is just too much inconsistency in this book for me to take it seriously. Look at the panel we've got going on here. This panel here, this cut-up panel, is supposed to be the character's stood. All right? I'm sorry, nobody's head is that far back off their shoulders. That doesn't work. Also, Freyja, you need to help me out with this one. All right? Top half of Punchline looks great. Bottom half looks awful. Who'd have thunk she had size, God knows what's that, 56 or 14 in the UK? I thought if you wore heels from that angle, it was supposed to make your foot look dainty. Not like
didn't you
like that.
Didn't you know about the secret art cameo? Rob Liefeld did all the feet.
Did he? Oh, well. As for Dickie Boy, there is something else that I kind of spotted that kind of narked me a little bit, and this comes from my own efforts to draw, not anyone in relation to this book. Where is it? I've gone past it and I can't find it anymore.
Dick Grayson's not
Where is he?
very much.
Where is he? Hanging out on the thing on the
pole.
Yeah.
Oh,
he looks like he's hovering. He's like hovering, kind of.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Right there.
Right, there it is. Right, okay. So when I draw Spider-Man or whomever hanging off a flagpole, do you know what happens to the flagpole?
It bends.
It bends. That's exactly right.
You know what also happens when you stand on the flagpole? Your shoes kind of your feet kind of naturally overhang a little bit. Yeah, he's freaking flying right now.
He's like stood flat on a flagpole that is not bending. Are you kidding me?
He's flying. He's weightless.
And on top of that, he managed to do a backflip without. Oh, you know what?
No, it wobbles.
Does it?
Yeah, they have the little wobble. But that's the only
just-
time he shouldn't be. Sitting on that thing is just ridiculous.
Where did Punchline symbols go on the boots?
Yeah, she changed boots mid walk.
The book is about Gunn read Catwoman as much as it is reading this. Unfortunately, I agree with Josh on this one. Everybody loved Punchline when she came out, and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And we loved her because she was different. She just comes across as just another Harley Quinn. So if I'm going to read a book with a crazy person who's going to try and take on some goons instead of taking on the Joker to prove herself to the Joker, I might as well just stick with the original, right? Because
But at least she's less annoying than Harley. Harley's gone like full stupid to be quote unquote funny. You know, at least Punchline's not trying to be funny. She's just psychotic.
She's funny looking. She's funny looking.
Well, she's still hot though too.
Nope. Not
You just
even-
put a bag on that face, and if they got dimensions proper, she's pretty hot.
I love the fact that you're bagging her.
You bag her head. You don't have to look at her.
As they say over here in the UK, when you never have to look at the mantle when you're poking the fire.
That's actually great.
Next up.
Oh, I'm dead.
Next up. Kids, if you listen to this and you want to know what we're talking about, get your parents to get a coal fire put in your house. All right, okay. So, Sandman Universe, Dead Boy Detectives, #2 of 6. Written by, I'm sure you picked this just so I could mess up the name. I'm going with Ponsac Pichetto. I'm going with that. Jeff Stokely is on art. Craig Taylor is on inks. Miguel Morato is on colors. And Hassan Otsman Elawal is on letters. I'm going to say I love Hassan. I love his work. I've seen it all over the place on Dynamite and Indie Books. Love his work by far. This bunch of crazy was brought to you by the right arm dart throwing of Freyja. There's Mr. Bullseye and Goodness. Oh my god. All right. Freyja, take it away.
So also, fun enough, this is also slated to get a show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
It's on the list. I'm actually excited because they could do a lot of really cool things with this. If they do it proper, you know, because they already have the Sandman universe going on Netflix. They have Sandman and it's up for season 2, I think. So
Did everyone like the Sandman?
I heard good things about it. I don't have Netflix.
I loved it. I watched all of it and it was great.
Yeah,
I have not watched it, but then again, I'm not a huge Sandman fan, so
no. I need to sit down.
Honestly, I wasn't either until I watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it was good. So this one, we are starting off book 2. In the first one, they just kind of introduced most of the characters again, and the boys. They were taken in by this. What do you call himself? Thai spirit monk or something like that, where he could talk to the Thai spirits. And then he proceeded to get murdered by one, which is the creepy headless spine thing. That's how the book ended, because they were having a conversation. Then he came back. He's like, "Oh wait," and he's like, "Oh crap!" So the spiritual guide, essentially, for these ghosts is dead.
Hey, look, Punchline's in this. Hey, look, there she is.
She's not Punchline. She's a girl. She's got a girl from the 90s. Come on now. So essentially, it's kind of hard to explain, but they're trying to figure out what's going on. And also, the boys seem to be developing feelings for the 90s goth girl, Tanya.
Who doesn't love a 90s goth girl?
Yeah, exactly. So they're both kind of developing feelings for her. They're trying to find a talisman.
Amulet man.
Sorry, same
not
difference.
A necklace. No, it isn't.
Talisman, necklace, amulet. It's an amulet. They're trying to find an amulet, mostly to get rid of that ghost, and they can't figure anything out. And it's a real fun mystery. They get to go down the spiritual road. It's only book 2, so I'm like, this is very interesting and very out there, and I really like it. I love the art style to it. It kind of
That's a good call.
It kind of gives me, I don't know, there's something it reminds me of, and I just don't know. I love the Spirit Road. I like how the faces are talking to them as they're walking on it. I would be freaking out too. Like, I'm walking. What is this?
Wait a minute, isn't that the pet from Legion cartoon?
No? I mean, you're not wrong.
So the book's great. It's kind of, I need to reread it again to really know what's going on. They're kind of still in the phase of like introducing these characters and like who can do what. Because in the first book they explained what type of ghost each of the kids were, except for the two British boys. Because the Thai ghost, Thailand believes in a lot of variety of ghosts. Like, so it's very interesting. One of them's like a snake ghost, and the other one is hollow. The girl with glasses is like a hollow ghost. So she has like these maggot-filled pustules all over her back. It's crazy. And then I can't remember what the goth girl was, but she can do crazy things. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Smart set probably.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The boys were kind of going through a crisis because their third friend that they had to start at the detective agency, she wasn't a ghost, she was a human, and I guess she's passed away or she's died, but she's not a ghost like them, and so they're kind of moving on. And Charles is the dark-haired boy is Charles. He's taking it hard, but now he's into the goth girl, so he's kind of like moving on. But it's and they're getting attacked by the gross little monsters. And so I'm looking forward to it. I still don't fully know what's going on. I need to go back and reread everything again. But
I think you've summed it up pretty well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of crazy going on, but I think there's obviously a mystery that these ghosts need to, resolve, and they've got their own the kids, the played as kids, they're written as kids, so they don't come across as more worldly than they should be. So that really works. That helps sell the idea. They're still scared of things that go bump in the night, as kids would be, even though they themselves are the things that go bump in the night. So that's a nice, interesting little slide on that. Josh, did you enjoy the slice of Vertigo-esque inspired Sandman universe-ness?
No.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried. I gave it a good, honest college try.
Yeah, what page did you stop at?
It was up until about the talking faces. That's when I was like,
oh, I like the talking faces.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. This just not my thing.
No, it's fair enough.
No. So I'm not a Sandman fan, as I mentioned before, so this is a little bit outside my wheelhouse. However, with that said, as you all know, I write for Comic Crusaders, and I see a ton of indie books. So the idea of ghosts and spirit worlds and different aspects of that coming into the fore and having some sort of fracas and getting like different people's opinions on how they should go about things doesn't seem as new as you'd maybe expect it to. I would do Freyja on this. I love the art style. I love how the simpleness of the designs of the characters work well against the juxtaposition of the horror, i.e. the talking faces and the Thai ghost at the beginning with all these skeleton going on there. I think that really helps sell the idea that, these are dead boys and not in a Casper way, although some of them seem pretty friendly to me, just saying. There is a lot going on, so I think you need to be aware very much of if you see this on the rack and you're interested, you need to go back and pick up number one for sure.
Yeah, because
otherwise
you'll be very lost. Because in issue number one, and we even went over the book that had her in it. That witch who killed her neighbor, you remember she like stripped down naked, and it was in the Black Label book. She's actually kind of the one, seems to be the one pulling the strings with all the evil ghosts.
Yeah.
Because she's in issue number one, and she's been captured and is being held captive to do these things, and she's a like thousands of years old witch, so she's manipulating stuff So
Yeah.
that's why we haven't really gotten into like what's going on yet, but they
To
are
an ex-
hinting at a lot of things.
I mean, to an extreme, you could say that the introduction of Goth Girl is kind of doing the same thing. If it's
Mhm.
if she's hitting on one guy and the other kid likes her as well, it's kind of.
I feel like she's evil.
I
I
feel
have a
like
feeling.
I feel like she's. I don't think when it comes to these characters, I don't think there's a good or evil. I think they're just different.
Well, I think she's being manipulated by the witch, is what I mean.
I think just in real life, they just have their own
Yeah,
desires and the things they want to do.
personalities.
Yeah, the things that they feel important and how they're going to go about them defines whether we class them as good or evil.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. For me, the big mystery is why the friend isn't there. What's stopping that? What's the barrier that's stopping them coming through to join these? Kind of downplayed throughout the book, but it gets a mention, and I'm intrigued in that. That could lead to like bigger problems down the line. You know, who allows which ghosts to get through and which ones who's stopping the. So I'd like to see that played out a little bit more. An interesting read for sure. Totally different from the kind of usual superhero stuff that we go for. So good choice on this one. I was really quite.
I really tried to find something that not everyone would hate.
Yeah.
This time, you know, I didn't use the dartboard this time. I actually went through.
You chose this on purpose. I'm not sure if that's worse or better.
I went through. You know, if Tracy were here, she would love it.
Yeah, agreed. That's a good call. Yeah, Tracy, that was for you.
It was for you, Tracy.
Give us a call. Get back on the show. Guys, look at the time. Thank God we've run out of time. We don't have to talk about Harley Quinn romances.
Oh,
thank you.
Wait, hold on. There's one panel I had a freaking issue with in the Harley Quinn book.
Hold on, then. Let me bring it up, and then let me go there. Let me just. Don't need that one.
And we're gonna go to John Constantine.
Oh,
Yeah, I skipped that one.
Yeah, you're gonna see it's an art issue.
Yeah, that's why I skipped it.
Yeah.
Hang on, then. Let me get it going. Whoop, magic. John Constantine, somewhere about there, I think. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so it was right at the beginning. There, that panel right there.
Which one? Back one?
Forward one.
Ta-da.
There we go.
What?
When did John Constantine lose the connection between his shin bone and the foot bone? What in the blue hell is wrong? Oh.
Just give it. I mean, he's just wearing. It just so happens to be wearing asphalt colored socks.
And the guy in the background has no feet. They can't. They match.
Oh, where
I saw that it was after that moment. I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Right, okay. See, we started
the book with the story with Power Girl. I didn't mind it.
It was
How
cute.
hot does she look like that? I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
woo, definitely.
Jimmy's lucky.
Right?
I just don't understand.
The story with Batman though, and the couple, like the guy that gets a bomb like planted into his shoulder. That one wasn't bad. I enjoyed that one.
It was ridiculous.
Zatanna was in this. See, what they should have done is they should have put Zatanna before John Constantine, and I would have been a lot happier.
Yeah.
I missed that because I was so pissed off.
What I will say about this book is that it is a mix of DC continuities. So, as evidenced by the Aquaman story. All right. So, don't go into this thinking, oh, it's going to be all like strictly as
it's your seasonal, Valentine's Day. Ooh, love stories. It's a one-off.
Yeah,
but it's Italian fishnets.
I
get my fishnets, Josh. I didn't have to put up with Ackles. I've got my fishnets already.
You need Ackles. I'm just saying.
Can I just say
don't need Ackles the way that other guy needed Ackles in the art. Go on, Freyja.
Can I just say that now that all of a sudden Jason Momoa has been Aquaman, now all of a sudden they're like sexualizing him. Like all the girls want to bang freaking Aquaman now in the comics. Like you go go to panel, what was it, like near the end of the book when Aquaman pops up and he's all wet from the sea, but Mara's there, but they don't show Mara. The one where they're at the table, he's like, hey, Diana sent me to pick up. No. He's like, Diana sent me to pick up your credit card. Yeah, that Vixen, one. He's all like dripping wet.
As well.
Yeah, Vixen was hot there. I like the lick in the
yeah.
She was hot there. But like the art style in that story was all over the place. But I was like, damn. They're talking about like how they were quote unquote with Aquaman. I'm like, no, that was you guys wishing you were with Aquaman. You know? But that was like, yeah, Jason Momoa became Aquaman, and all of a sudden everyone wants to bang Aquaman, you know. And then I like, yeah. So I kind of checked out the moment, like in the very first story, when all of a sudden Harley pulled out her fan fiction from high school prom. I'm like, oh my gosh, rip that out of the book and burn it, because that is the dumbest, like cringiest crap I have read. Why are people so obsessed with prom and high school? It's literally 4 years of your life. It's pathetic. No one cares. Prom sucks. Prom.
You're talking to a Brit. We don't have proms.
I know, that's another thing. Prom is nothing. I don't know why people are obsessed with it. Prom sucks no matter where you go. They $60. $60 a good dance. It's so dumb.
Where's the rant banner?
And then I'm rant banner. But like, it's stupid. I'm like, why are these people like obsessed with prom? Oh, let's go to prom.
Can we agree?
I'm like, were you the person that nobody asked and you were just sitting at home alone? Guess what? Prom sucked. Didn't miss anything. Grow up, get out of high school. Nobody cares. You know,
so,
Harley coming out with like, we've at prom. Yay! No. Also, I'm gonna stop my rant now. That's just that was the dumbest story. That alone stopped me from buying this book, and I freaking love the variant covers of this book. Like, they are fantastic. Where are the variant covers? Someone pull up the variant covers.
No, we're out of time. So the way it works is we can all agree that the Kite Man story was the best one.
Yeah, the Kite Man story was absolutely fantastic. I love the Kite Man stories. Pull up look at the variant covers, since no one will pull them up for me. They're amazing. I can't like the one with.
Come on,
they're great.
Hold
like this
on,
cover,
man.
the cover on like the original cover, not nearly as good as the one with freaking Brainiac attacking Smallville in the background with Lois and Clark with his shirt open. She's holding his cape. It's hilarious. And then which
one am I looking at?
Let's see. There's two of them. There's B and C. There's one with I don't remember those characters' names, but they have a story.
You want the swoony one?
Well, there's two of them.
All right, hang on. I've got one of them. Hang on, 2 seconds. I can't believe I am bowing down to.
Thank you. Thank you.
God. There you go. There's one.
There's one. I don't know how to. I'm bad at this type of thing.
So that's kind of like a romance. Woo! Look at that, hot and steamy.
It's like one of those books that you'd see at the grocery store.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a play on the old romance novels, you know.
I can't believe people pay $10 for this.
And it's
right.
Apollo in Midnight. Is that the one you like?
Yeah, I like that one. And then can I? Yeah.
That's it.
The Apollo. It's this one. Bam. That one is like $25 to get.
This one.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It's like $25 to get this variant cover. I'm not spending that much for this book. I'm not buying any of them. I might just get small posters of these covers because they're great. The covers are fantastic. But it's just that's the best thing about this book are the covers. So.
All right. Okay.
Anyway.
There you go.
I'm done.
And so is the show. There you go. Thank you so much, Freyja and Josh, for joining me tonight.
Always
good. Don't forget to check out UCPN for all your favorite shows, including Freyja,
K-pop Cosmos, where we talk about and highlight K-pop groups throughout the years.
Oh, cool, excellent. Joshua.
Oh, we've got the Magic Crusaders, where we talk about all things Magic the Gathering. Cards, decks, combos, and even gameplay. It's good times.
Cool. And hot on the heels of a recent Outside the Panels with Kelly Thompson. One scheduled for your diaries. We have an Outside the Panels special scheduled with none other than new Avengers writer Jed McKay coming up. There you go. So keep everything you see PN. There you go. Guys, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
And for everybody else, I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes. Adios.
Bye, guys.